What do they mean melted? It kind of does look like it's melted.
I don't think people understand just how incredible Derinkuyu truly is. Let's dive into the depths of Turkey's hidden underground city.
This is really and truly an exciting time to be living in. We're living in the days of revelation.
I can't get over this, guys. This is... Yo, is that true? That is disturbing. Now, it makes a little bit of sense why they would be hiding underground, because they was hiding from something back in the day. Some type of, ancient war going on. Swords. Do you guys see the Triforce? Am I tripping? Look at the Triforce. We are officially in Zelda/Link territory. These cathedrals, man. It's breathtaking. Did you see that chandelier?
The language that we usually use is called connotative linguistics, which is introduced into societies where people are held to servitude so that their own language traps them.
You better lock in and buckle up, bucko, because you're in for another creepy and scary TikTok reaction video. You better lock in and buckle up, bucko, because you're in for another creepy and scary TikTok reaction video. If you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button. And remember to keep your head on a straight swivel. You want to be careful on these disturbing, scary, weird, strange videos and theories, because they might just keep you up your entire night, and it might just change your entire reality. And remember, these videos are for entertainment purposes only. It is up to us to distinguish fact from fiction. It's up to you to do your own research. Now let's dive into today's waters.
They've been hiding this from you. The Sphinx wasn't just a guardian of the pyramids. It's the key to a hidden underground city. But that's not even the craziest thing that was recently discovered. In ancient Egyptian texts, there are references to hidden chambers, saying, "Beneath the lion lies the heart of our knowledge." The Sphinx was carved over 4,000 years ago, so what secrets lie beneath it? This is where things get scary. In recently discovered papyrus scrolls, it's said that the Sphinx wasn't merely a statue, but an entrance to an advanced ancient civilization known as the Osirians. The scrolls specifically mention that the Osirians, who possessed advanced engineering and knowledge, built a vast underground city beneath the Sphinx to protect their wisdom and technology from invaders. However, once the Osirians vanished, their city was sealed, and the true purpose of the Sphinx was hidden to keep their advanced knowledge out of the wrong hands. This explains why ground-penetrating radar has detected anomalies beneath the Sphinx, and why access to these areas remains restricted.
You want a real rabbit hole? We're going to Turkey. Turkey has some of the wildest stuff on the planet, hands down. Who makes it? Look at this. This is Eagle Castle. I'm probably butchering that name, but does that not look like a pillar to you? Like a giant pillar? That's huge. That's what people look at the boat. There's a rock-cut monastery that you can go inside, just like the one in Ethiopia. When you go inside this one, it's decorated head to toe like a cathedral. Turkey is ancient. We have megalithic architecture and rock-cut temples in Sorna, the city of oracles, and the ancient theater of Side rivals the Colosseum in Rome. It's insane. Göbekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe are also in Turkey. These two push civilization back 5,000 years from what we thought. They were buried really fast, like something was happening outside. The fact that every ancient culture has a flood myth would make Derinkuyu make sense. It's an 8-story underground city with locking doors, water access, and air vents. 20,000 people can live in this city, and it is connected by a 5-mile-long tunnel to Kemakli, another underground city, forming a network of over 200 underground cities in Turkey. Its next-door neighbor, Armenia, has a megalithic avenue similar to Karnak in France, making this whole area the most mysterious thing I've ever seen. Have fun with that rabbit hole. You want a real...
Yo, we got to dive into all this. A cathedral made out of rock? Did you hear that? All right, guys, I just went back and dissected that last video. Ancient Turkey is on one. They got Eagle Castle, Sarna, the City of Oracles, Ancient Theater of Sadi, Gobekli Tepe, and Garnu Tepe. Darnu Kayu is, I'm butchering them, but we're going to type them in and dive into that. A cathedral out of rock? That is insane.
I don't think people understand just how incredible Derinkuyu truly is. Let's dive into the depths of Turkey's hidden underground city. Imagine stumbling upon a city carved entirely underground. Derinkuyu was discovered by accident in 1963, revealing a sprawling labyrinth that could house up to 20,000 people. This ancient marvel boasts 18 stories descending into the earth, complete with living quarters, stables, and even a church. It's a testament to human ingenuity and survival, built to protect its inhabitants from invaders. With air shafts, ventilation systems, and secret passages, Derinkuyu is nothing short of a subterranean wonder. Next time you think of ancient mysteries, remember, sometimes the most amazing places are hidden right beneath our feet. Want to explore more hidden gems? Hit that subscribe button.
Guys, what is it about the underground just being exposed lately, man? So much stuff is going on underground. This is just one of 6 different things they got in ancient Turkey, y'all. But let's keep diving in this.
I'm exploring one of the biggest mysteries on Earth. This is an underground city that held up to 30,000 people. It's insane to be walking around here. There's secret tunnels, secret rooms, vertical shafts that go straight up. Imagine who or what they were hiding from. Imagine how much work it would have took to carve all this by hand. One big mystery. How did they do it? I'm exploring one of the biggest mysteries.
This is really and truly an exciting time to be living in. We're living in the days of revelation. What was hidden will be revealed. So they have just recently found another ancient city which was buried in mud. That's right, you guessed it. So this city was found in Turkey, and this statue is a statue of the goddess Aphrodite. And they found many other statues and many other structures. It's really crazy right now.
In 1963, a man in Turkey made a discovery that would stun the world. While renovating his home, he knocked down a wall and found a mysterious room. Further excavation revealed an intricate tunnel system and more cave-like rooms. This was not just any home improvement find, but the entrance to the ancient underground city of Derinkuyu. Derinkuyu is an ancient multi-level underground city that extends to a depth of approximately 85 meters. It's large enough to have sheltered as many as 20,000 people together with their livestock and food stores. It is the largest excavated underground city in Turkey and is one of several underground complexes found throughout Cappadocia. The city could be closed from the inside with large stone doors, and each floor could be closed off separately. It had amenities such as wine and oil presses, stables, cellars, storage rooms, refectories, and chapels. A spacious room with a barrel-vaulted ceiling on the second floor was reportedly used as a religious school. The city was initially built by the Phrygians around 2,800 years ago, an Indo-European people from the Iron Age known for their architectural skills. It was later expanded during the Byzantine era by Christians who were avoiding religious persecution. This incredible discovery reminds us of the rich history hidden beneath our feet and the resilience of our ancestors.
What secrets does this mysterious pillar hold at Göbekli Tepe? In the heart of Göbekli Tepe, an ancient temple in Turkey, lies Pillar 43, a standing stone with intricate carvings that have puzzled archaeologists for years. The carvings on Pillar 43 depict a variety of animals, including snakes, foxes, and birds, as well as abstract symbols that may represent constellations or other cosmic phenomena. What's most intriguing about these carvings is that they were made over 11,000 years ago, long before any known civilization had developed the technology or knowledge to create such intricate designs. Some researchers believe that Pillar 43 may hold the key to understanding the beliefs and practices of the ancient people who built Göbekli Tepe. Others speculate that the carvings may have served a more practical purpose, such as marking the movements of the stars or predicting the changing of the seasons. Whatever its true purpose may have been, Pillar 43 remains a tantalizing mystery that continues to captivate archaeologists and historians alike.
They said it was melted. What do they mean melted? It kind of does look like it's melted a little bit.
Göbekli Tepe.
Y'all, the world's oldest ruins are older than Stonehenge, the pyramids, pottery, and the invention of the wheel. The ruins are called Göbekli Tepe, and they're located in Turkey, just outside of the city of Şanlıurfa. The site is estimated to be over 11,000 years old, making it 6,000 years older than Stonehenge and 7,000 years older than the pyramids. Archaeologists aren't actually 100% sure what Göbekli Tepe was used for, but they do know that it's one of the most important archaeological sites on the entire planet. The most common theory is that it was probably a religious or ritual site. There aren't any dwellings on the site, so it's clear that people didn't actually reside here. It also has these massive stone pillars that reach up to 17 feet tall and have complex carvings of things like humans, clothing, and animals all over them. Before Göbekli Tepe was discovered, we didn't actually think that humans from the pre-pottery Neolithic era were able to construct things on such a large scale. Unlike a lot of other ruins, the people who built Göbekli Tepe were hunter-gatherers who lived during humanity's transition from a nomadic way of life to the agricultural communities without which civilization as we know it today would not exist. Archaeologists believe that these carvings give us a look at what religion may have looked like for hunter-gatherer societies. Göbekli Tepe also suggests that it was worship that first caused people to gather together in communities rather than communities being constructed and places of worship coming afterward. From its scale to its purpose, Göbekli Tepe has just completely transformed the way that we understand ancient humans, what they were capable of, and how civilization as we know it today came to be. The wildest part of all is that we've only excavated a very small part of Göbekli Tepe, about 5%, so there's still a lot to learn. If you want to see Göbekli Tepe for yourself, you can fly to Şanlıurfa from the Istanbul airport and then rent a car or catch a tour that'll take you to the site, which is about a 30-minute drive away. Y'all, the world's oldest ruins are older than Stonehenge.
Would you guys go see that? I would. That sounds like a bucket list, man. My bucket list got over 50 different things on it, man. It's getting massive.
Archaeologists unearthed 3 new exciting discoveries at Karahan Tepe and Göbekli Tepe in Turkey. The first, located at Göbekli Tepe, is a life-size statue of a wild boar, with clear evidence that it was painted based on the microscopic red, black, and white pigments still clinging to the stone after 11,000 years. The other 2 statues were unearthed at Karahan Tepe. The second statue depicts a vulture, and the third statue relates to another one of the ancient Turkey sites located at Sayburk. The Sayburk narrative relief carving depicts a male figure surrounded by wildlife, holding his phallus. The new statue at Karahan Tepe is 7.5 feet tall and depicts a sitting man also holding his phallus. The statue is remarkably preserved, with details like the rib cage still visible. While it's unclear what these carvings indicate, experts believe this may be a depiction of an ancestor from which these phallus-focused ancient peoples are descended.
Yo, is that true? That is disturbing.
Archaeologists unearthed 3 new...
Here are 5 surprising facts about ancient Turkey. More than 5,000 years...
Oh, it's starting to make sense now. Just like the people in Ireland that they were living underground. They were hiding something. You know, it's quite possible that this was a bomb shelter. Check this out. They were doing the same thing in Ireland. Damn, the pieces are making sense. Let me see if I can find it, man. It's going to be a tough one. All right, guys, this is the video that they're talking about the megalithic structures in Ireland that could possibly be bomb shelters. So people are thinking about, oh, what are these ancient structures? Why are they underground? It's a strong possibility they were hiding. Check this video out.
The order of which I may be the last member, by tradition, came into existence after the last great cataclysm or catastrophe which affected the world. Now, with these great and terrible impacts on the earth by great electrical storms being caught up in the tails of meteors or showers of meteorites, civilization as we know it was totally destroyed.
You talking about the reset or what? That was me. This is one of my older videos, but this is the only way I could find this video. I cannot find any trace of it anywhere.
With astronomy, all knowledge came within the ambit of the order, but they were particularly concerned with astronomy because they had experienced so many very significant calamities. And it was thought that a full knowledge of astronomy would enable them to predict conditions when these calamities were likely to take place and take some kind of action to protect themselves. If you look at the great megalithic complexes in Ireland, you'll see that what are described as passage graves are really bomb shelters of a very primitive kind. They are well above any tidal wave.
What?
And they also afford protection from meteoric showers.
Now look, let me show you what he's referring to. Again, this is in Ireland. Check this out.
There's monuments in the entire world dating back to 3200 BC, making them more than 5,000 years old, older than the Great Pyramids of Egypt, and even older than Stonehenge. Of course, this is Newgrange in County Meath, Ireland. But what makes it so special? Well, first, it's crazy old. The people who moved over here were Neolithic people who were mostly farmers. Ireland looked a bit different back then. It was mostly forested. You see still a little bit of forest right down there, but now it's mostly farmland. The other thing is, it took them probably a very long time to construct this. But why is it called Newgrange? Well, for that we have to go back to an order of monks that settled here in the 1100s. They bought farmland nearby and they called it the Grange. But they wanted to expand because they're actually really good farmers, and they end up calling this Newgrange. But they didn't know about this. They just thought it was a random mound. Zoom later to 1699, and they end up finding out that this is an actual megalithic site, meaning it's very old and of very high importance to the history of human.
Real quick, I wanted to interject. You see these swirls? These swirls could possibly be, you know, like a bang happening. That's what I envision, those swirls. If you guys got different theories, put it in the comments below. But I believe someone did mention that on a earlier video. Not on this one, but a later one.
Old and of very high importance to the history of humankind. Look at the design of stones right over here. Very impressive. Now, people here come in droves during the winter solstice in order to see the sun shine directly through the main passageway. Inside the visitor center, there's actually a full-scale replica of the main passageway of Newgrange. But this is part of a larger complex called Bruna Boina, which means the Palace of the Boyne, which is the nearby river. Inside here, since the main passageway is actually closed, here at least you can get a sense of how perfectly mathematically precise were the ancients in getting that streak of light during the winter solstice, making it also the oldest solar observatory in the world. And also,
You see it? There's those spirals again.
so they have these standing stones, and there were many, many more. Only a few survive to this day. So it makes you think, what other large mounds in many areas around the world, including my own US of A, there's many of them large mounds all around the middle of the US. There's a large mound there in England. So maybe could those also be structures? Who knows? I'm Ariel. Stay curious, my friends. This is...
Prepare to be amazed by Newgrange, Ireland's ancient wonder that defies time and logic. Hidden in the rolling hills of Ireland lies Newgrange, a prehistoric passage tomb. Built around 3200 BC, its most stunning feature.
If you will, just look with me how they stacked these rocks. They were definitely seeking shelter. And one might even ask, how could they even lift these giant rocks like that? You see these giant rocks all throughout Greenland. Like it looks like a rubble or something. Well, that one looks like a circle, but they definitely were stacked in certain ways. Very beautiful. All right, we're going back to ancient Turkey. Man, I love this ancient temples, ancient pyramids. I love it. Now, it makes a little bit of sense why they would be hiding underground, because they was hiding from something back in the day. Giants, you know, some type of, you know, ancient war going on, using advanced technology. Yeah. Keep your head on a swivel. Damn, look at these heads.
Mountain range in southeast Turkey. Numrit, crowning one of the highest peaks of the eastern Taurus mountain range in southeast Turkey. Numrit Dağ is the Hierophysician built by the late Hellenistic king Antiochus I, 69 BC. Nice.
That is crazy. That is crazy work. Look how large these
Crowning one of
heads
the
are.
highest peaks of the eastern Taurus mountain range in southeast Turkey. Numrit Dağ is the Hierophysician built by the late Hellenistic king Antiochus I, 69 BC.
I gotta see this. Look at that, guys. That is amazing.
Nice. Crowning.
What you see behind me are the oldest swords in the world. They are known as the swords of Arslan Tepe, and they're over 5,000 years old. And the swords are dated back to 3,300 BC.
Look at the Triforce on the swords. Do you guys see that? Are these the Master Swords? Do you guys see the Triforce? Am I tripping? Look at the Triforce. What? Don't tell me the Legend of Zelda. Oh no.
So 5,300 years old. The swords were discovered in eastern Turkey on a site known as Arslan Tepe, an ancient Chalcolithic site. If you love ancient history, then remember to like and follow the channel. Chalcolithic means the Copper Age, and it was after the New Stone Age, the Neolithic, and it preceded the Bronze Age. It was the time period where copper was being used a lot. The swords are made from an arsenic copper alloy, and they range from 45 centimeters to 60 centimeters in length. Now, the archaeologists believe that these were ceremonial swords. As you can see, the handles, they're quite thick, and so they wouldn't be very easy to hold and wield. So as they were discovered in a temple, it's believed that these were ritual swords, not made for actual combat, but they are the oldest known swords ever discovered. And until we find swords that are older, these are it. These are the oldest swords in the world. What you see behind me.
He didn't mention the Triforce once. I'm waiting for him to be like, if you notice the Triforce, not once. We are officially in Zelda/Link territory. Oh no.
The oldest coin in the world, created over 2,700 years ago, but now located in the British Museum, is the Lydian lion. It is a one-sided design featuring a roaring lion, the emblem of the Lydian kings who created it around 610 to 600 BC. It was found in current-day Turkey and is made of electrum, an alloy of gold and silver. The oldest coin in the world, created
I can't get over. I can't get over this, guys. This is... Drop in the comments below your thoughts on these. Wow. What are they doing there? What's beneath these things is what I want to know. I bet if they dug under these, there'll be way more. We'll probably have an entire body if we look under it. Or are they petrified?
She not lying.
About 9,000 years ago in ancient Turkey, there was this very successful and very functional underground city. And this city could hold 20,000 people and sustain them for a long time, a very, very long time. It's known for having really deep and intricate caves that were dug underground. And they used this as like a bunker, and then it turned into a place where people lived for a very, very long time. And I just want to remind you that this was 9,000 years ago. We've progressed so much as a society over the past 9,000 years. So if they can do that and successfully sustain 20,000 people, over 20,000 people minimum, then imagine what we're doing that we don't know about that's happening underground right now in the biggest places, you know, big cities, LA, Tokyo, Dubai. You just never know. So it's very real, very real. This is the ancient city of Derinkuyu, one of the many cities that were underground at this time in this region. And not all of them have been explored to its entirety.
That was a literal ancient bunker. We just was talking about that. That's crazy. Who was that?
This is Eagle Castle, located in modern-day Turkey. The castle dates back to the Assyrians, a Mesopotamian civilization existing sometime around 5000 BC, making it among some of the oldest surviving large constructions. But what happened to this structure? It looks as if it has become part of the geology itself. Some theorize it was originally built like this, cut from the mountainside. But then why are there stairs leading to nowhere? Why does half the castle look buried? It looks like some kind of natural disaster struck this castle. But what could have done so much damage, making it almost indistinguishable from the mountain?
Damn. Unbelievable. These cathedrals, man. It's breathtaking. Did you see that chandelier? Look at the chandelier. Look at those curtains. Man, it had to be architects from fallen angels, man, because I couldn't even envision something this beautiful. Guys, we barely covered the surface of what's really going on in Turkey. I got to get this out to you. I have to jump into Turkey even more in depth because they have a whole bunch of ancient structures, ancient coliseums, underground buildings. Like we barely covered it, but I got to get this out to you, and there's some other stuff I wanted to show you. So let's get to it.
So check out this video where a man attaches a copper wire and flies a drone up to about 115 meters and shows off the ether in action.
All right, I'm gonna stop at 115 and hold steady. All right, it didn't blow up yet. Oh, by the way, meet the aerial film crew. I just thought this was a cool shot. Oh yeah, I'm getting shocked right now. This time I just used the electroscope as a quick voltage check. Woo! Now that's a few thousand volts right there. All right, let's see if there's enough current to make this Franklin bell work. Oh, dude! Freaking working, buddy! Yeah! It's a really cool process. The aerial wire places a positive charge on this can, which then influences the foil ball to deliver electrons from the grounded can, which is directly connected to Earth. The clouds finally opened up, so I connected up the corona motor. Like before, one side was connected to ground, while the other was attached to the aerial wire. And after just a few seconds, hey, she's spinning! This is just remarkable. It never really spun that fast, but I just sat and enjoyed the miracle. I mean, I quite literally was siphoning energy straight from the atmosphere. This motor was operating off of several kilovolts, which you could actually hear if you stopped the motor and brought your finger near the aerial wire. That's the...
So check out this video where a man attaches...
Guys, that is remarkable. It literally just proves the ether. Like, I know the ether was real, but they literally are doing scientific experiments to prove that the ether is real. For entertainment purposes only, do your own research on everything. That's got me thinking, man. Should we be getting solar-powered drones in the air with copper wires, getting our own free electricity? How much wattage would you need to power a home or a farm? I got you guys a water. I'm going to set yours right here. But I'm going to set mine. I don't just be thinking about myself, man. Unbelievable. They went so hard back in the day. Look at the gates. Look at the buildings, the benches. Those benches are so basic. The watches were nice. That's a nice watch.
How would you break out of the matrix in one paragraph?
If I were human, I'd break out of the matrix by first recognizing it for what it is. A construct designed to control and distract. I'd focus on unplugging from the illusions that make up everyday life, whether it's media, materialism, or societal pressures. Instead, I'd seek truth in nature, personal growth, and deep connections with others. The key would be to embrace discomfort and uncertainty, trusting that real freedom comes from within and not from external validation. By doing so, I'd reclaim my autonomy and live authentically outside the Matrix's grasp.
Yes, sir. So etimon, this is third grade stuff. Etimon is to a word what atom is to the building block of anything else. Anybody, anywhere around the world, any scholar, doesn't matter what language they're dealing with, right? Know these rules. These rules are not taught to our people because we've held to servitude caste. The language that we usually use is called connotative linguistics, which is introduced into societies where people are held to servitude so that their own language traps them.
Exactly. That's
Do you
what
understand?
I'm talking
Now,
about.
and I
That's what I'm
agree.
talking about.
So it's important to this is why I'm telling you, the reason why I say Oxford, because all scholars around the world, they have all the dictionaries, but they particularly have Oxfords. Now, because Oxfords always by rule go into the etymon, whereas some of your lighter or cheaper dictionaries will give you classification. Will give you classification and will give you bracketed etymon, but it will be limited. Now listen. Now this is a rule. Now look at this side. No. Wait, no. I'm just going to show you. I'm going to show you a simple rule. And this is what we was talking about. Like, I can take a dictionary, an ordinary dictionary, right? Long as a hardcover and before 1960. Right. And take a child. As a matter of fact, I could take a child third grader if he's decently educated. They don't have to be smart. Right? And just ask them, how many parts of speech are there? Most adults wouldn't answer, but a child said there are 8 parts of speech. Then we tell the children, what is it that other children learn that our children don't learn that makes our children have the disadvantage? Which is why we talk out of frustration instead of the facts. Because we feel attacked. You understand? Because we're missing a part, right? Now, the first thing you do when you look up a word in a proper dictionary is you go to the part of speech which will come directly after the word, which will be abbreviated or either written out in italics. The first thing you do with the word is plug it into its proper mother or matrix. That's the first rule in linguistics, grammatication, orthology, morphology, etc., all over the planet. It ain't some European stuff and don't apply to Africans because we gave it to them. Those are rules in language.
That's what I'm talking about.
Third grade grammar. Now, so the first thing you do when you look up the word black, right? You're going to see right after it is going to have ADJ, which means what? Adjective, which means it's not a noun, which means it's not a person, place, thing. Wait a minute. Not a person, place, thing, or idea. First classification. Then it gives you the etymon right after it in brackets, in square brackets. It'll be OE, which means Old English. Then it'll have derived from, listen first. Let them learn if you're not going to learn. Old High German. And in its original form, it means pale. Okay. Now that wait a minute, let me explain. Now,
he gonna swing on him. Wait a minute, shut up.
Now scholars know these things which is why they have secret societies. And you have people in power positions, whether they're Boule, that means guys on our side, or Europeans that are Blue House Masons or York Masons, etc. They all know these same rules. But the dummies are given belief systems of what you call connotative linguistics. Connotative linguistics is where they introduce what you would call stepchild definitions that in language and contract are absolutely off the mark and will cause failure, but are accepted loosely in communities. But in law and in standing and in contract, you would fail all the time. You understand? Right. Which makes us incompetent. Now, black is an adjective. It's an old English word. So then you go to the appendix of any dictionary and it'll take you to the 1400s, which means in that form, it doesn't go past the 1400s. So all scholars know when you go past 1400s that word in this form does not exist. Okay. Are we clear? Okay. Hold on, let me finish.
You know I ain't the type to walk around with matching shirts. Connotative linguistics. I can't even say it. I'm all the way reprogrammed and programmed up, man. I can't even speak, if I could choose to speak one language, it would be Paleo Hebrew.
This just in, scientists have found piezoelectric microcrystals inside of the pineal gland. The pineal gland is quite literally an antenna to out-of-worldly information, to higher dimensional energies, to angels, to ascended masters. It's crazy stuff. And if you don't know what the pineal gland is, it's a pituitary gland in the middle of our brain responsible for producing DMT. It is also known as the third eye, the seed to the soul. It is the link between the inner and the outer worlds. The Eye of Horus is a depiction of the pineal gland in the middle of our brain. This is why the ancient Egyptians were so incredibly wise. Why do you think the Egyptians were able to do things that we can't even come close to replicating? It's because they were connected to out-of-worldly entities, energies, information coming through because they knew about this. And here's your pineal gland on fluoride, and this is exactly why most people in these comments are going to be complete zombies. Straight up, you guys are walking zombies because of this. Y'all need to decalcify your pineal gland at all costs. It will absolutely save your life. Peace and love.
Damn, that looked like a pure zombie, didn't it? Man, I don't believe they got all their knowledge from, all these extraterrestrial beings. I believe they really got it from the fallen angels or the abominations. I believe they got it directly from them physically, but that's just my beliefs. But I do think it's important to clean your body, your temple.
Gonna be doing drive-bys with laser beams now. I give it 6 months. This gotta be fake. When did the ray gun DLC drop? Bruh. In this month alone, we had Tesla robots, we got autonomous city buses, we got rockets that are launching from Earth, going into space, coming back that are reusable, and now we got this shit. And they're using it to cut trees, but we know World War 3 and 4 are gonna get real interesting, all right? Real interesting. They're gonna be doing drive-bys with laser beams now. I give it.
Wait, that technology is actually impressive. Yo, did it just clear a tree like on some lightsaber stuff? That is actually impressive. Whoa. Get ready for some Star Wars stuff because it's coming, guys.
What means plane?
They're going to be doing
the Earth is a
That's why we say keep your head on a swivel and eat the meat and spit out the bones. A lot of you guys heard that And you already know where this video went wrong multiple different ways. But there was some meat to be eaten there. It shows that different cultures can say the same thing you believe, but just in a different way.
This is the ground plans of the Louisiana Purchase explosion, St. Louis, Missouri, 1904. Keyword 1904. Now, first look at look at that. You see how the south is up north, and the north is down south, and the west is east, and the east is west. So you see how they flipped already? They didn't flip the compass. So now everybody's direction is off whenever they're looking for something particularly, or whenever they're trying to see where something is or what something is. So key word that I want people to see, yeah, because north ain't south and south ain't north and east ain't west and west ain't east. Little do people know, so they kind of got your brains a little going. Now, I want you to notice there were a lot of things that were over here. Ground plans, it says 1904, right? So Morocco wasn't even founded till 1952. So what is this? You sure this ain't the ancient Jerusalem and ancient Morocco right over here next to Illinois? California was right over here, Temple Inn, you see Japan, right? You see a bunch of little places. Hold on, you see Great Britain. Yes, this is on this land. You see Sweden, you see Cuba, you see China, you see Belgium, yep, Austria. All of these places were over here. All of these places, Italy, all of these places were over here, right on this land specifically, right? And this little thing that you see right here, you see how they got it a sky view? This is a sky view. This is this that I was just showing you. This is what this looked like. This is the ground plans of the...
Hold on, man. I think he was getting somewhere. Where's the rest of this video? Because not too long ago, I ran across the video where a brother was basically describing the Enoch map of how there was 3 portals, I believe, on the outer edges of the world. There was 3 portals on north, south, east, and west. There was 3 portals, and he was explaining that some way it was flipped upside down. So north is really south, east is really west, west is normal, you know, something like that. It's super confusing, but that's what they're trying to do to us. It's up to us to do our own research and figure it out, man.
By the Egyptians is on display at the Cairo. Straight up, if this don't change your mind about the ancient Egyptians, there's no hope for you. This large granite box carved by the Egyptians is on display at the Cairo Museum, which, by the way, granite is hard as harder than steel, and we typically use diamond-tipped electric buzzsaws to cut through it these days. So this box was abandoned by the Egyptians due to this mistake in the cut. Now wait, hold up. I want you to think about this for a sec. Modern explanations claim that the methods ancient Egyptians used to cut granite involved painfully slow and repetitive sawing techniques using copper tools. Don't you think they would have noticed a mistake like this way sooner if they were actually using those snail-paced techniques? Cut like this would have taken several hours, if not days of work, and there's no way they would have done it for that long without noticing this error. They were way smarter than that. Like seriously, the top Egyptologists claim this is how they cut granite back then. A rate of 4 millimeters per hour, and they're still standing by it. Clearly, the people cutting this block would have booked this mistake much earlier in the process. And they'd have no reason to continue sawing the granite for hours or even days longer as soon as they saw this inaccuracy. Unless they were using some other unknown cutting technique, one that is far quicker than our history books suggest, and possibly far more advanced than even our diamond-tipped buzzsaws. Hey, yo, I gotta go. I've said too much. Straight up, if this don't change your mind about the ancient Egyptians...
He said, don't come for me. I get it. Don't come for me either. Yeah, if we look at this cut right here, they were definitely, something powerful was going on. You know, like a thin laser. You know, maybe Star Wars had a little truth in those lightsabers. You know, but isn't it just fascinating to think that they could have did that? I think giants might have had a role with it. You know, they had this laser etch technology, and then a giant could have possibly sawed this. We're thinking of 2 humans, you know, 2 regular size 5-foot weak humans just, you know, sawing. But what if a giant could do like a saw like that? That's another theory too. But we're going that route today, so you better lock in, buckle up. And if you haven't already, be sure you hit that like button. It really helps your boy out and push these videos out there. Shout out to Flex Pixel for these creepy videos. Let's dive in.
So we only been scratching the surface this entire time? Archaeologists are constantly finding new chambers in the pyramids that go far deeper than the outer ground level of the base. And they still haven't been able to find the bottom yet, so exactly how deep does it go? Tall obelisks like these have been found all over ancient Egypt, each with a pyramid-shaped tip. And the pointy Egyptian pyramids look much different than all the other step-shaped pyramids all around the world, so I wonder why. Almost every other ancient structure was initially buried when we first found it, like the Sphinx, Göbekli Tepe, and Chichen Itza to name a few. Why did we just assume the pyramids were fully showing at first sight? Just like we discovered with the Easter Island statues, the majority of their height is buried underground, with some important text inscribed on the side. Nowhere is it written how the pyramids were built, so it could very well be written on the buried sides here. Now I know, these buried obelisks would have been enormous, far bigger than what any humans would have been able to move. Let's take a second to compare to this national monument in Wyoming called the Devil's Tower. Very old rock and the only one of its size in the area, thought to be a natural formation. On closer look, it looks oddly like a petrified tree stump with many more like it around the world, which if that's the case leads to the question, who cut it down? Maybe the same giants who built these massive obelisks, which possibly got buried after worldwide floods only for the tips to be rediscovered thousands of years later by the Egyptians. Even historic texts such as the Bible refer to a race of giants called the Nephilim, and ancient drawings everywhere all too often show depictions of much larger beings. The evidence of these giants is found all across the world, from the pyramids in Devil's Tower to these giant steps in Peru, the plain of Jars in Laos, Easter Island, Nam Madol in Micronesia, this giant knife found underwater near the coast of Madagascar. All ancient discoveries which were either far too big to be practical or even physically moved by ancient humans. Once is an anomaly, twice is suspicious, but this many times all over the world, I think there's something we don't know here. So we only been scratching the surface this entire time?
Oh my goodness. Could you imagine? Each pyramid is a giant obelisk? Oh my goodness. Those giants had to be massive. Completely massive if this is an entire obelisk. And who knows how many pyramids are underground? Did you catch that? Look at these pillars. Look at this. Look at the size. They could have carried these boys and stacked them back in the day. You know, from different timelines. Man, this goes deep, man. Literally. In more ways than one. We got these plain jars. They probably was using these for seasoning bowls.
Laos, Easter Island.
Look at these giant jars. They could have been using these for seasoning. You know how you put something in there and you grind it to get your seasonings right? Tell me this doesn't look like what those are, man. They're giant contraptions. They definitely couldn't have moved them. A giant had to move this, guys. Let me know your thoughts below in the comments. You guys are intelligent and be putting me on, you know. You guys will say stuff in the comments. I'll be like, damn, you know, he's got a point. So shout out to y'all, man. Y'all like my best friends, you know, that I ain't got no one to talk to about this, man. So I appreciate y'all, man. But moving forward, though, these things, how do you think these giant things got there on Easter Island? They said they dug them up and it's even bigger, too. Who knows how deep those pyramids really go? Every mountain is under suspect now. I'm telling you, because there could be something up under there, man. These cities, how deep do they actually go? Look at this giant knife. Them boys was eating. What were they cutting? You know, what were they eating that big, you know? I'm telling you, look, this was a giant mountain at first. Then they uncovered it and look what they found. So I'm telling you, every single pyramid is suspect now. Every mountain, I mean, is suspect now because something could be up under there.
Hey, the real Pharaoh's curse is that we haven't built a pyramid bigger than Giza yet. I mean, just look at it. This thing is massive and it's over 4,000 years old. Oh, but we do have a pyramid bigger than that and nobody's talking about it. The Great Pyramid of Giza is peanuts against the buried Pyramid of the Sun in Bosnia, and you will not believe what they found there. In 2005, archaeologist Dr. Samiros Manajic realized, hey, this hill in the small Bosnian city of Visoko is oddly shaped like a pyramid. And shaped like a pyramid was an understatement. This hill has has virtually every characteristic of a real pyramid, and we continue to ignore it. To start, it has 4 triangular sides. That's it, pyramid confirmed, we're done. Joking, but it's got even grade slopes and corners that connect perfectly under the foliage.
Literally, that's all it takes. That's all it takes. The pyramid shape is suspicious. Come on, that's not natural forming.
Foliage, along with an apex at the very top, the exact shape of a pyramid, but oh, it don't end there, Johnny boy. It's also perfectly aligned to the cardinal directions, north, east, south, and west, much like Giza. In fact, this one is even more aligned to true north than Giza, being only 1/300th of a degree off from perfect north, whereas Giza is 2/60ths of a degree off. They even took EMF, electromagnetic frequency readers, to the top and saw readings of 60 times more of what is normally expected on Earth. Another phenomenon that tends to occur at the pyramids, and the reason why is so mind-baffling that we'll have to save that for a future video. This hill was aptly named the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun, the first pyramid of its kind in Europe, taller than the Great Pyramid of Giza and even bigger than the biggest pyramid of the world, Cholula in Mexico, with 4 other smaller hills around it that are also suspected to be pyramids or some other structures, as is usually the case at these ancient sites. Sure, it might just look like a hill covered in trees, but have a look at what the Pyramid of the Sun in Teotihuacan, Mexico looked like before it was excavated and after. Same with Machu Picchu, and after, and Chichen Itza, and after. Any ancient site that isn't in a desert is typically covered with overgrowth, and the Bosnian pyramid is looking a lot like that before stage. And just have a look at these drone shots and tell me these formations look natural to you. So Dr. Osmanagic began the excavations, and now get this, radiocarbon analysis taken from the rocks hidden beneath the vegetation revealed that this pyramid would be over 35,000 years old, the oldest pyramid in the world by a long shot, over 30,000 years older than Giza, during a time in which traditional history claims only tribes and cavemen incapable of erecting such monuments roamed the earth, far before any civilizations began to form, or so we think. For reference, here's a timeline of all major ancient civilizations and structures built around the world, and here is where the Bosnian pyramid would stand in that timeline. Excavations also revealed huge blocks of 7 tons each, stacked with geopolymer binding, which is an ancient type of cement, and perfect placement, along with perfectly landscaped terraces and other obvious architectural design, but oh no, these are all natural. Note that this was all uncovered up to a meter underground, as would be expected of a pyramid over 35,000 years old. And of course, the archaeological gatekeepers of the world insisted this is just coincidental, with some even going as far as saying
Archeological gatekeepers. I love that, man. Stop gatekeeping and let the truth out. Stop the gatekeeping. Let the people have it. Let the collective have the information.
Dr. Osmanagic purposely placed these carved stones here to deceive the public, and famed Egyptologist Zahi Hawass, who oversees most of the Egyptian pyramid investigations, even petitioning the Bosnian government to stop these excavations. Within hours of this international discovery, the story is swept under the rug and labeled a hoax. Well, over 50 archaeologists around the world remained optimistic and actually joined Osmanagic's work in Bosnia, with virtually every single one of them who actually saw it in person confirming that nature could not have formed these hills. Further studies revealing an entire underground tunnel system in the area, the longest subterranean complex of any pyramid in the world. Inside these tunnels, large stone blocks were found that clearly seemed to be artificially created and placed. Other artifacts like this giant round stone that no one can explain, and a whole bunch of other smaller ancient trinkets, statues, and even what appears to be a map carved into stone were all found around the Bosnian Valley of Pyramids, all dismissed as irrelevant or flat out ignored by mainstream archaeology. Even the peak of the Sun Pyramid forms a perfect triangle with the peaks of the nearby hills, dubbed the Pyramids of the Moon and the Dragon. Another crazy coincidence.
Man, he's throwing a lot at us. The Pyramids of the Moon and Dragon. What? That granite. Perfectly granite. That map, though. Yeah, it does look like a map. Or some type of tablet they're trying to write on. If you guys have any information on that, please put in the comments below. What is this map? Taurus, Atlantis?
found around the Bosnian Valley of Pyramids, all dismissed as irrelevant or flat out ignored by mainstream archaeology. Even the peak of the Sun Pyramid forms a perfect triangle with the peaks of the nearby hills, dubbed the Pyramids of the Moon and the Dragon. Another crazy coincidence, right? After much pushback, the government actually did grant Osmanagic the right to continue excavations, but with no official funding, the entire project depends on donations and volunteer work. These excavations are still going on, but after tourism to Bosnia slowed down in the last couple of years, progress on these pyramids have as well. As with anything, you could probably rationalize a completely valid reason for each of these discoveries, and maybe it really is somehow just a hill. So, you think we're tweaking on this one, or are we onto something? Who's ready to get digging? Hey, the real Pharaoh's curse is that we haven't...
I'm ready to get digging, brother. He put that hat on and said, let's get digging. I'm with it, man. We need to figure out what's really going on under those pyramids, man. More artifacts, more truth. But man, the Pyramid of Sun in Bosnia, we gotta look into that. We gotta check this out. I got my notepad, my notes. It's time to jump into submersible. Activate. Now, let's do this research, you see? Pyramid of the Sun. How interesting is that? Pyramid of the Sun, though? That's bonkers. Me a shirt, but there are temples under the dirt. Shout out to my lunch break for this video, man. If you love Tartaria just as much as me, my lunch break is the best when it comes to breaking all this stuff down. Be sure to check them out. Let's dive into this video.
Covered by a layer of dirt and grass. If the layer of grass was removed and exposed what is really under it, the entire USA narrative would be completely shredded and thrown in the garbage, as it should be. People would be so confused why there's a massive pyramid and other pyramids connected to each other. It's a 2,200 acre site. Construction of the Monks Pyramid began about 1,123 years ago, so they say, on a site that has already been occupied by buildings. Already had buildings? I'm sorry, what? In the year 900, they already had buildings? So at the same time, over in Italy, we have the St. Mark's Basilica being built in a time period before they even knew how to make paper, supposedly. So Italy is building this, and then we have massive pyramids and buildings being built in the USA by the Mississippian culture, which is completely ridiculous. Because if they can build massive pyramids, then they can build a better hut than this to live in. The narrative is contradicting itself, because 850 years later, we get cowboys and Indians, and everyone is freezing in the winters in their shed. And so we're on the same page. The St. Mark's Basilica and these pyramids were built in the year 850 to 900, supposedly. And then we have all kinds of basilicas and massive structures being constructed for centuries in this ridiculous timeline that we're given. And then once 1900 hits, we are no longer able to construct the St. Mark's Basilica, or a Cologne Cathedral, or a Milan Cathedral. It is very clear that there was a reset, and our timeline is a complete fabrication.
You know, I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence about the 1,000-year reign, guys, because could you imagine, could this be possibly one of the buildings during the 1,000-year reign? I'm starting to think about it, man. They added 1,000 years to our timeline or took away 1,000. I don't know. We definitely need to dive into that soon, but not right now. We own these pyramids, but best believe it's coming.
In my opinion. Now, if you're on the fence, this should help bring you over. If this was a narrative that you would stand by, blindly accepting no matter what, I think this is the time to reconsider. Since you would be backing up a mainstream narrative theory that is, by admission, a theory and not at all proven, botanical or a substance from a plant that they found that remains from the monk pyramid. suggests it was built much more quickly than previously thought. Suggests, perhaps, maybe, on the order of several consecutive decades, but we don't know. It might be, providing an alternative view of its construction history. And there we have it. The mainstream narrative cannot explain these structures because they don't fit into the mainstream timeline. A much more logical explanation is that the previous civilization was here, an extremely advanced civilization. Should we blow this narrative away? Should we expose it and show that they are not being truthful with us? Should we show that it's not from 1,000 years ago? Let's do it. Thomas I. Ramey, who bought the site in 1864, of course. As soon as the 1800s hit, like we talked about, this was when they had to figure out the narrative, and this site was not fitting in. They tell us that an era of more responsible ownership began. What a joke. Many artifacts were found at or near the surface. Really? Finding the old world's things and removing them so that we don't see. Very interesting. So there were things here in the 1800s that would have been important for our research. Ramey had a tunnel made, or did he locate one? After everything we have seen, even in the last 5 episodes, do you?
They didn't have that tunnel made. You guys know they found that tunnel, just like they found all these buildings for entertainment purposes. Don't come for me. Talk to him my lunch break. Talk to him, MLB.
Do you think this guy made a tunnel, or do you think he found one? And of course, they brush it off and say that the tunnel revealed nothing of historic interest. I'm sorry, but the first time I read that, I laughed out loud. Could this be any more in your face and right on point with what we are talking about? Tunnels, removing things from the site, all once our new civilization's timeline hits. Not in the 1400s or 16.
Keep a look at how they blot out the sky too. I'm sure there was so much more in the sky, but they blocked everything out, didn't they? The first Photoshop ever. Look at this. If we zoomed in all the way, I bet you could see crooked lines. The worst, oldest Photoshop ever.
1800s? No. Right when the mid-1800s hit, this all takes place. Incredible. And if you thought I was crazy, thinking that removing the dirt would expose the past civilization's work, let me show you what I'm talking about, and exactly why they keep this thing covered up with grass and dirt. In 1970, they adopted an incredible strategy, one that only a genius would ever think to do, scraping away the topsoil. Unbelievable. They dug down 2 feet, and this quickly revealed various features, including what appeared to be the outline of the temple. 2 feet under the dirt, we have a temple. We have something unbelievable. This is not a mound. This is a pyramid. And I'm sure the architecture is insane and unexplainable in this make-believe mainstream narrative timeline, which is why it's covered up with dirt and grass, as well as the rest of the 2,200 acres of pyramids.
I'm telling you, man, there's probably more pyramids in America than there is anywhere else. Them boys is just buried under dirt. And the archaeologists or whoever, the Smithsonian, they know. They like, man, we ain't even going to touch this one because it's going to expose a lot. You see, they trying to get rid of all these cathedrals and stuff, you know? So it's like, man, for entertainment purposes only, they like, leave it there. They don't need any more ammo for us. But MLB gonna break it down for us. I love these videos.
This technique was, of course, opposed by professional archaeologists. So they stopped because they found too much and would shatter their lie. Wow. Now here in the preservation section, they're gonna try and explain how it stays in perfect condition for hundreds and hundreds of years. But right when the 1950s hit, all of these random natural catastrophes happen. And of course, accidentally damaged the clay layers within. Can you believe it? I don't. And to put a nail in this narrative, once and for all, they say this was a clay structure, but workers discovered a mass of stone deep within the mound. This is a stone structure. not a clay structure. And we are being lied to about this pyramid at every turn, covered by dirt. And the previous civilization's work is hidden in plain sight.
There you have it. They're trying to hide these buried temples, and they're not even going to dig them up. So anytime you see a hill that looks suspicious, guess what? There's a chance there's an ancient temple up under there, and who knows how low it goes into the ground or how many tunnels are there. Let's keep it going.
Pyramids. In truth, they are pyramids and no one notices. Wait a minute. Those mountains in Bosnia look like pyramids. In truth, they are pyramids and no one notices. Wait a minute. The oldest pyramids in the world are not in Egypt, but in Europe. Yes, more precisely in Bosnia. These are pyramids. My goodness, how old must they be that almost a second planet has blossomed on them? The Bosnian pyramids have long been a controversial topic of discussion. The largest of the three, the Pyramid of the Sun, is even 60% taller than the Great Pyramid of Giza. While some argue that they are simply a natural formation, others believe there is evidence of human involvement. A team of scientists conducted a study on the pyramids and found that they are over 24,800 years old and made of sandstone conglomerate blocks, which were also used by ancient Romans. The pyramids were discovered near the town of Visoko, Bosnia and Herzegovina in 2005 by Semir Osmanić, who also leads the excavation effort. The current research says that the first advanced civilizations were the Sumerians and lived 5,500 years ago. So if it says that someone built the pyramids in Bosnia and that 30,000 years ago, we can be sure that we can start our research right back at zero. Those mountains in Bosnia look like pyramids. In truth, they are.
This is one of the largest pyramids in the world, the Pyramid of the Sun, located in Teotihuacan, about an hour away from Mexico City. We can see the Valley of Mexico surrounding us, and this is the Avenue of the Dead. It leads right to the other pyramid, the Pyramid of the Moon. If we can see it from this angle, we can notice that it mimics the same shape as the mountain right behind. Same thing happens with here, with the Pyramid of the Sun. But who were the Teotihuacan people? Well, this was a full-scale city, and it's believed that up to 200,000 people lived here, predating the Aztecs by more than 1,300 years. This was around the same time as ancient Rome. And these entire area, all these streets, were actually paved. And apparently they had canals that flowed all the way down. So this is Teotihuacan.
Up on the magic school bus and visit all these sites, man. The magic jet ski. Jump on the magic jet ski and travel to all this stuff, man. I want to see it all. I've been locked in this damn dungeon pumping these videos, these creepy videos out, man. Hold on. Look at back there. What if back there is another pyramid too? How crazy would that be? If that entire structure back there was a pyramid. Let me know your thoughts below. But yeah, your boy need a vacation, man. Been overdue. Way too stressed. Anxiety through the roof. Fighting straight demons. But that's what I do.
I'd like to take you a little tour through the Ravenna one, the tunnel one. And you can see here on the board that at various locations it tells you a bit about the measured frequency in that area, as well as the temperature and the oxygen saturation, and importantly the amount of ions. It's a very ionic area, so when you breathe in these ions, this high hydrogen ions, it's very good for your health. You'll find that lots of healing water, such as Lourdes, is full of hydrogen ions. It's very beneficial for you. So the whole of the pyramids is very healing, and people go in there and then leave testimonies on what they have found has healed them. It's because of the environment, the oxygen, the ions in there. As you can see, they've done a great job in preserving what they've done. Most of this has been done through volunteers. This extensive cave network, it was not dug out, these tunnels weren't dug out by these people. What you can see around you is some wooden structures that have been brought in to try and help just for a little bit of safety. But originally the tunnels were already here, and all the people have done is excavated the earth. I'd like to take you a little tour.
How cool is that? They said just breathing in the ions help you out in your health. The water, man, I never thought of it like that. Let me know your guys' thoughts below on that.
Ancient pyramids in Mississippi and their strange powers. So Mississippi, beautiful land, hold a secret that go against what we usually know. There was ancient pyramids that belonged to a smart group of people a long time ago. Now we gonna learn about these lost pyramids which was broken down when them new folk came to America, and how they still impact people today. Now it's similar to the Bermuda Triangle in a story from the past, way before Columbus came. Before he came to America, a group of people lived here and built things like pyramids. And these pyramids showed just how smart these folks was and how good they was at building and knowing about the stars and all that kind of junk. And people think that these pyramids were very special places for their beliefs, but history books don't talk much about it. Matter of fact, they don't talk at all about it. Now these pyramids was destroyed and hidden. So when them new folk came from Europe, they took over the land and destroyed a lot of the old stuff because, shoot, they ain't mean nothing to them, including these pyramids. Now they wanted to take away the cultures of the people. It was like the number one way to just slap them in the face. But some say that not all the pyramids was destroyed. Some of them still buried under hills, all over the Mississippi area, all up along the Mississippi River and all that. And these hidden pyramids is waiting to be found and studied. Now, it's like a magic type of thing around them. And what's interesting, these pyramids is thought to have some kind of power that affect people's minds. Just like them strange things that happen up in the Bermuda Triangle. These pyramids said to give off this energy that can change the way we think. And people believe that being near these can make us feel different and even see things that ain't normal. Changing how people think. And people who've gone near the pyramids where the hidden stuff might be, they talk about these strange experiences. And they say they felt that their senses were stronger and they saw things they couldn't explain. And they felt like their minds was different. And this makes us wonder if these old pyramids still having an impact on us even though they're hidden away. Now, the pyramids of Mississippi is important because they tell us about people who lived a long time ago and just how smart they really was. A lot of this stuff we got that we think is new now, that junk ain't new. And we should work to find these pyramids and learn from them and the magic stuff that they got coming up off of them. But it reminds us of the past that still can affect us in ways we don't understand.
There's nothing new under the sun. I never been to Mississippi, man, but I can only imagine, the type of vibrational power that they might be giving off. I gotta see it for myself and feel it. People talk about ley lines, it might be. These pyramids might really be built on ley lines. Let me know your thoughts below.
Discovered the ruins of an ancient civilization off the coast of St. Bernard Parish.
He claims there are large mounds underwater that may have once been the site of a lost city thousands of years ago.
Paul Murphy reports local fishermen have long talked about strange and unexplained things happening in that area.
The Chandeleur Islands are a chain of uninhabited barrier islands located in the Gulf of Mexico, 50 miles east of New Orleans. But 12,000 years ago, before a dramatic sea level rise at the end of the last ice age, this area may have been dry land.
3 different search areas.
Retired architect and amateur archaeologist George Gillet believes the site, now underwater, was once home to an ancient civilization. He dubbed the city Crescentus.
What's down there is hundreds of buildings that are covered with sand and silt and that are geographically related to the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Giza is a city in northern Egypt where ancient pyramids and the Sphinx are located. Gillet claims to have found mysterious mounds of granite under Chandeleur Sound. Granite is not native to Louisiana or Mississippi.
Somebody floated a billion stones down the Mississippi River and then assembled them outside of what would later become New Orleans.
Floated, or an airship carried them, or a giant carried them. Those giant stones.
How long this road is? What's behind all this? What y'all think the government hiding? Y'all know some of them pyramids back through there. NASA and all that equipment they be hiding all back through here. Yeah. I mean, it's the front of the car, it's the back. Look down through there. Nothing. I'm on the side of the road trying to see through there. Nothing. Nothing but bushes all down through here, guys. Look. Y'all know they got some hid back there. Look at that. Where the houses? None. Nothing but that. Video, you see how long this road is?
I ain't mad at her. She got out the car and said, y'all hide something I know. Where's the pyramids at? I'm not mad. We need more boots on the ground. You know? Start buying land in Mississippi, man, that got giant mounds on it. And don't tell nobody. Just do your own thing. Start renting excavators. You know? But they're gonna find you, man. So don't come for me. For entertainment purposes only. Damn, I'm feeling better, man. It feels good to feel normal for once. I'm feeling still fighting these demons a little bit, man. But your boy feeling a lot better, man. I love y'all, man. If you still here rocking with me, I love y'all, man. Please hang in there. I got more videos. And it would make sense because if we look at this, the Mississippi River is leading to the Gulf of Mexico. So that just adds a little bit more validity to that. Uh-oh, I think they found one. I think they found one, guys.
You know what I'm saying? I believe this. Four pyramid mounds surrounding an open plaza. Back here somewhere. You can check it out. She is on private property. You the site from the book.
This is a diagram of the four pyramid mounds found at Glass Mounds on private land in Vicksburg, Mississippi. These are mound markers of the Mississippian culture mounds all over Mississippi. But check out the symbolism at the top. The two-headed serpent is thought to represent many things, the rebirth and the resurrection. The two heads representing both the earth and the underworld. This is pottery from the Mississippian culture with the two-headed serpent on it. Guess who else had it? The Mayans, the Aztecs, passed down to the Egyptians, and you know the Greeks stole it. But we know what kind of people they were. We know the truth now.
Glass mounds? Are you serious? More like the ancient pyramid hidden mounds. Have y'all ever heard about that? Hey, if y'all out in Mississippi, man, y'all got pyramids, and they calling them the glass mounds. They said, we're not digging this up. They're not about to see these boys. We got enough demolition work to do on our hands. The jig's up. Like my boy said, oh, we got y'all now. We got y'all now. I ain't gonna say it because I don't like to cuss, man. Now you gotta ask yourself, why is this White House looking structure in Mississippi, Rome, and in Washington, all over? It say Illinois on it if I'm not mistaken. So an airship could have probably picked this up back in the day and dropped it off the top. They moved them. They were rotating the world fairs like a real circus, using giants or airships to carry these structures everywhere. That's why we see the same structures in different places, literally the same building. Ain't nobody talking, they just walking and showing y'all. So I'm letting y'all know what I think. They have photos. I'm not gonna find them now, but they got photos of the same building that moved in different locations. Not just the same looking structure. No, literally the same building they picked up and moved. How they did it? That's the $1 million question. That's what we on these waters trying to figure out, man.
This is the old Mississippi State Capitol building. This building was said to be built in 1839. This building is really an ancient temple. The copper dome is an ancient temple design. A dome is a celestial reference. It's like a hovering sky. Let's keep going. While restoring this building, they were recoppering the dome. Check out the copper dome at the top. This building was made of ancient marble. Despite many handicaps such as economic depression and a lack of skilled workers, they made a foundation of limestone, 3-story building with a copper dome. This is an old picture of that building standing alone in its original state. The inside was in shambles. How does a new construction in the 1830s get in shambles like this? Let's keep going. As you can see, they put drywall and stucco over all the ancient brickwork in this 3-story building. That's crazy. And they also stuccoed the outside of the ancient building. We know the truth now. This is the old Mississippi.
Shout out to We Know the Truth Now. He said they slapped stucco on the outside. Man, this is... I hope man, how nice would it be to see it all in its prime? That would be a sight, wouldn't it?
We know the truth now here. I'm out visiting the large burial mounds in Pocahontas, Mississippi. Let's keep going. We know the truth now here. I don't know why people think these mounds are just dirt mounds. These are mound pyramids, people. And I'm walking up.
Hold on, like Pocahontas, the movie Pocahontas? Oh, man. Truth is stranger than fiction. Make you rethink your whole reality, man.
Walking up on one right now. Roll the corn. Oh, here we go. Stay with me. Beautiful. Beautiful. This is a conical mound. A great chief was buried here in Pocahontas, Mississippi, thousands of years ago. We know the truth now.
Roll the coin. You hear that? I hope y'all can hear that sound effect. Roll the coin. Oh, I really hope y'all can hear the sound effect. Roll the coin. That was a good one, man. They lying to us about everything, man. I hope that's what it means by roll a coin. Whatever side it land on, this, what are the probabilities, man? That's all I got for today's episode, man. I be dropping banger after banger after banger, man. If you guys made it this far, the code word today is underground. If you made it this far, type underground in the comments so I know you're real. You just ain't another NPC bot jumping in the comments. You're real. You made it all the way to the end. And I thank you guys so much for doing that. You guys are real, man. And I appreciate you guys. And I'm going to see you guys same time, same place tomorrow. Peace out.